Did you know that 4 out of the 8 planets in the solar system have no solid material? There is no way to walk on 4 of these 8 planets. That's half of them. These 4 planets that I'm referring to are the gas giants. The gas giants are composed of Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, and Uranus. The most iconic one of them all, if we're talking about rings, is Saturn. This planet is famous for its beautiful ring structure, something scientists have been studying for ages, trying to figure out why it has these rings and how they came about. When you look at images of these 4 gas giants, it might be easy to assume that only Saturn contains rings. But my friend, that is far from the truth. In reality, all 4 of them have rings. So now you may be wondering, how come I don't see the rings in the other planets? You're lying to me. And that is a valid point. The reason you can't see them is because they're opaque. They don't reflect as much sunlight as Saturn's rings do. And so when images are captured, the rings don't usually come out. You need to send a probe really close to the planet to be able to capture the beauty within the rings. What I'm trying to say is that there is always more than meets the eye. Let's look at this planet, for example. This is Uranus. It might seem bland and boring from the first look. Yes, it has a homogeneous color, that baby blue color. But why don't we ask, why is it blue? Why isn't it kind of brown like Jupiter and Saturn? The composition of this planet brings ethane and methane together to give the planet its beautiful bluish color. But that's not the complete story. If we look at another image, you can actually see the ring. This ring is quite unique. You might notice right off the bat, this ring is oriented completely haywired. And that is a good assumption. The ring is oriented at a 98-degree angle with respect to the ecliptic. These rings are quite unique and peculiar. They differ drastically from the other 3 gas giants. Uranus rings are missing something that the other 3 are not. And that is dust. Uranus rings are missing dust. Rings are made out of material, remnants of other components of rocky, icy material. But for some strange reason, Uranus, the smallest particle that make up the rings, is the size of a golf ball and bigger. Nothing smaller exists within these rings. And every other planet that has rings has dust within them. So you may be wondering, what does this mean? 2 things. The first is that maybe the way the rings for Uranus came about differs from the other 3. That's one theory. The other is that they were formed just like the other planets, but maybe a gust of solar wind or something of that nature came about and got rid of that dust. And so we don't know the answer, but the fact that we have these 2 ideas based off of the observation from this drastically different structure in the rings for Uranus is really fascinating and brings so much curiosity to learn and understand more about Uranus and everything within the solar system.